guys, Nicole Thomas here, clinical nurse expert, healthcare purpose strategist, and the author of my new book, In Health on Purpose, Awakening Your True Calling in the Healthcare Profession. I am so excited to be here today with Miss Brianna Bradley, who has built an amazing platform for us to boldly and courageously declare that we are not just nurses. We are more than nurses, and just giving us that platform to be able to express that we are more than just nurses. So I am going to be sharing and answering some questions that Miss Brianna gave to me that she wants to share as a part of her Triumph Month that I am just so amazingly happy to be a part of. And I just want to thank you, Brianna. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. And if I'm looking down, it's only because I'm reading the questions that she gave to me. So I have been a nurse now for going on 11 years. It's very, very hard for me to say that because I'm only 33 years old. And when I say 11 years, it just kind of like, I don't know, it kind of makes me feel old. But I'm not going to worry about that because the older that I get now, I realize that every single year that God gives me is a blessing. So I've been a nurse now for 11 years. So what inspired you to become a nurse? I was always inspired with science, just, science and how the body worked, things of that nature. And I've always also been inspired just by helping others and really and truly being there for others during a really, really critical time in their lives. So what inspired me to become a nurse, I would say, would be my love for science and my love with people. Hey, you merge the two together, and what do you have? You have Nurse Nicole. So that's what inspired me to become a nurse. When you first started your journey, what were some of the struggles that you encountered? Oh my God! Okay, so I had so many different struggles that I have encountered as a nurse, so many different things that I've had to overcome as a nurse, so many things that I had to face before I even became a nurse. Just to give you a little bit about my story without us being too long. First off, my junior year of college, I became pregnant with my first and my oldest daughter. And that caused me a little bit of setback. It caused me a little bit of setback because, yes, I flunked my Peds and OB class that I was in at that time. And so, therefore, it pushed me behind a little bit. Also, at that time, I was not married, but I did eventually get married shortly after I had my daughter while I was still in college. And that was not the best relationship. I knew it was not a good relationship, but I proceeded with that relationship because I had a baby, point blank period, and because I didn't want nobody judging me. So I got involved into a relationship that was not really good, a relationship in which someone did not really and truly support me and my dreams, someone that really and truly flat out told me, drop out of school, because they did not want me to be a nurse. But now I know that that was their own insecurity. So those are some of the struggles that I faced before I even became a nurse. Some of the other struggles that I've faced as being a nurse was really and truly, if I could just sum it up, because there's so many different things, but really and truly trying to figure out what is my purpose as a nurse, y'all. I would say about 3 years into my nursing career, y'all, I was ready to walk away. I felt broken, I was busted, I was disgusted, I was depressed. And it was kind of hard for me to really and truly wrap my head around that because, let's be honest, working as a nurse, that's one of the most respected, we work in one of the most respected professions. And so for me to work in a profession that's so highly respected and be so unhappy, that was hard. But it was because I didn't know my place here. This is a huge pool, and you're trying to swim through all of this and figure out, where do I belong in all of this? And that was really, really hard for me. And it caused me some depression. And so through that, I've tried to leave the nursing profession several times. I was one of those people that you probably read about in the stats that within the first couple of years, how many nurses have thought about leaving their profession. I was one of those, and if I took a survey during that time, I probably checked the box. But really and truly, I struggle with where I was supposed to be. I struggle with why was I here? I was just unhappy. I worked several jobs. I would go from job to job because I felt like it was the job. If I could just get me another job, that'll be okay. And I would go to that job and I would still be unhappy. Okay, well, let me go find another job and I'll be okay. When all along it was within me. I needed to figure out, why was Nicole called to be a nurse? Because I had to really and truly figure out and realize that it wasn't about the BSN, RN, or the MSN, RN, or whatever the respective credentials was that I had behind my name, but why? And so that caused me some struggle. It caused me to go into some depression, and that started to trickle over into my personal life. And so that was something that I had to really and truly plug into the source, y'all. And I had to plug into the source to help me to understand, why do you have me in this place? It always goes back to that why. So those are just a few of the struggles. I've had so many other ones. Financial struggles. I have, had health struggles. After my second child, I was told that I had an ejection fraction. Some of my nurses may know what this is. That was less than 20%. And pretty much the doctor walked in the room and said, if you don't lose the weight, if you don't do this, and if you don't do that, you won't be here to raise her. So I've just had so many struggles, and it seemed like everything just started coming at once. The financial issues came, and then right after that, the health struggles came, and then right after that, I'm working in nursing and not knowing why, and I'm feeling depressed. So just so many different personal struggles that I've had to overcome. So that's just a little bit about that. So my next question is, how did you overcome some of the obstacles that you faced? I wish I can give y'all a nice, pretty, crisp answer, but I'm going to keep it all the way 100. I had to go through it. That's how I overcame the obstacles. I had to go through it. I had to realize first, of the obstacles that I was facing, how many did you cause on and bring up on yourself? I had to acknowledge that so that I can move forward. Because let's be honest, a lot of the things that we go through, I know, the first thing I always want to say, oh, the enemy busy. Yes, he is busy. Don't get it twisted. I understand that. But also, don't forget, how much of this did you bring up on yourself? How much of this have you really and truly sat down and said, what have I done? And so, first off, for me to overcome the obstacle, I had to go through the obstacle while doing some self-reflection and say, Nicole, how did you contribute to this? The second way that I overcame some of my obstacles, and I know this is going to sound cliche, I know it is, I had to plug into the source. It comes a point in time in life where you realize that every single thing that you go through, no matter how ugly it is, if you just hold on to God's unchanging hand, you're going to realize that he's the same God back then, right now, forevermore. And he's going to help guide you through it. He's going to help you through that season that you're going through, because things can only last for a season. And so that's honestly how I have overcome many of the struggles and the challenges. So again, I had to go through it. I had to do some self-reflection and see how did I contribute to that so that I can know the changes that I needed to make. And then I had to plug into the source. So that's, in a nutshell, how I overcome my obstacles that I've been faced with. My next question is, what was one thing that pushed you or drove you to your success? There are many things. But the one thing, if I had to choose one, would be my why. My why is what keeps me going. My why is what keeps me, when everything is going on and everything seems to be going against me, my why is what keeps me pushing forward to my definition of success, because everybody has a different definition of success. Your definition may not be my definition. My definition may not be your definition. Let's get that understood first. But my why, and my whys are my community, because I understand that my life is not my own. I am here to invest and to leave something and to pour into other people. So that's number one for my why. My second why is my family. It's my children. And so those are the things that keep me pushing to reach my level of success, my clearly defined level of success that I have plastered everywhere. If any of you have ever been in my car, it's posted in my car, it's posted in my bathroom, it's posted in my closet, because that's a constant reminder of me, to me, whenever I'm going through something, why I am doing what I'm doing. So that's what pushes me to continue towards success. So my next question, how has the struggles you overcome prepared you for the struggles that you might face in the future? Because I know that they ain't over. So I kind of alluded to this earlier. Here is how those struggles are preparing me for the ones that I know that I'm going to face in the future. It's knowing that the same God back then is the same God right now. The same one that pulled me through last time is the same one that's going to pull me through this time. It's also learning from my mistakes. A lot of times we contribute to our own demise. It's owning that and owning up to that and making a promise to myself that I'm going to do better. It's being able to surround myself with people who go keep it 100 with me and not just my yes people. I call my friends all the time and I'll give them a situation and I tell them, I need you to be brutally honest with me and tell me your honest opinion, not just what I want to hear. So I would have to say again, what are some of those, the things that I feel that has prepared me is really and truly knowing the same God back then is the same God right now. He doesn't change. People go change on me, but he not go change. And I just have to stand on that word to know that if he brought me through the financial struggles, the health struggles, the almost getting kicked out of nursing school struggles, the being in a relationship that was not a very good relationship struggle, he's going to bring me through everything else. So that's what I would say is what I use to help me prepare for future struggles. So my next question, what advice could you give your fellow nurses or nursing students that may be facing current struggles? Endure the struggle. I say endure them because it's only going to make you a better person. It's going to give you a story. If you don't go through nothing, you ain't going to ever have no story. How can you go around and spread the good news and the gospel of God and all that he can do without going through something? You have to have a story. And so my advice to future nurses and to nurses right now that may be going through something, endure it. And you stand on that word. You stand flat-footed in the word of God. And whenever the enemy comes up against you, you get your Mayweather on with him and you go blow for blow. He throw a punch, you throw the word of God. He throw a punch, you throw the word of God, and you endure it because it's only a test that you're going through and it can't rain forever. It's only a season that you're going through. And so my last question, what is one thing that you would like others to know about your triumph? The one thing that I would like others to know about my triumphs is that all of my struggles, my obstacles, my setbacks, they were about me, but they were not for me. It was so that I can now come and invest in other individuals and help pull them through. It's knowing that all of those setbacks was just a setup for my comeback. Because one thing about it, I may get pushed back a few steps, but you better believe I'm coming back. And when I come back, I'm coming back strong. So it's knowing that my story was about me, but it was not for me. Nothing that I go through. It's also that I can push through. I can endure. I can stand on the word of God. I can remind him of his promises to me so that I can go out and show people, if he did it for me, look what he'll do for you. And with that said, that's all that I have, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope something that I said resonates with you. You can follow me across all social media channels at Nicole Thomas Inc. You can also visit my website at www.nicolethomasinc.com. Bye, guys.